Oh, you're so cool, Brewster.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
You lied and I died!
I feel rosy, yeah. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
How's it hanging, Phil?
Stop the prime time, bitch!
Come and get it!
So either put the gun down now, or kiss your ass goodbye.
Let's get this party started.
I agree, Dana. Let's get this party started. So, welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror. Now, today, unfortunately, real life happens, guys. And real things happen in people's lives that are much more important than a podcast. So, our friend Jamie could not make it out tonight. We're sending all our love, all our healing vibes out her way. You are going to be missed, Jamie. But like I said, there are some things in this world that are way more important than a podcast. Yes. Now, on a positive,
we still have Summer.
We still have the amazing Summer. So, how are you doing today, Summer?
I am better now that I'm with you guys.
Yes.
Awesome.
We are super excited to have you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me back. I'm so excited to be back.
Absolutely.
I was just going to say, you guys probably know Summer from our episode of My First Horror Movie, but for the people that didn't check that out, can you tell everybody a little bit about you and the Dolls of Horror?
Yes, my name is Summer, obviously. I am the creator and co-host of the Dolls of Horror podcast, which you can find on Spotify and Apple and a few other platforms. And we'll pick a movie every week and break it down by topic segment, such as favorite kill, fashion moment, epic line. We talk effects, of course, and cinematography and music and all the good stuff we love in our movies. I'm also the official host of the Days of the Dead conventions.
Nice.
So I host all their panels, with the exception of a few. They do have an indie filmmakers series, which I don't do, but I love the indie filmmaker crew. So very happy to share the stage with those guys. And yeah, man, just love horror. What do we talk about on the first one? My first horror movie was Suspiria when I was 8 years old.
Yes, and that was a very fun episode because that was the first time I got to go in depth on Suspiria.
Yeah.
So that was something I was very excited about. Now, before we start our top 10, there's two things we have to do real quick. First, we're going to catch up on the chat, and then I owe everybody a huge apology. So first, let's catch up on this chat real quick. Charles says he is so excited, and we're so excited to have you, buddy.
Hi, Charles.
Tatum is here.
Hey, Tatum.
Hey, Robin, tomorrow our episode of Versus on Children of the Corn comes out.
Hey.
We hope you dig it. Robin suggested that to us.
I love that movie.
I bet I know Ken and Ashley's number ones, but I'm going to keep those to myself. I'll be shocked if anybody knows my number one. I know what everybody thinks my number one is.
You may.
I don't think people know my number one, but we did get our first super chat of the night, guys. So you know what that means.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
I love that.
Thank you, Charles.
Yes.
We appreciate you so much.
And you might know mine. it might be pretty obvious.
Please subscribe to our amazing guests tonight. Thank you, Tatum, for putting their links in the chat.
Thank you.
We also have their links in the description as well, guys. So please make sure you're subscribing. They are an amazing podcast and even better people.
Yeah.
Hello, Ken and Ashley Savage. It was time to resurrect that name. Yes, I forgot about Ashley Savage. Comfort movies, I'm sure House or People Under the Stairs won't be on this list.
Really? I feel like they know us or something.
Yeah, it's like they know us.
I know.
Hey, what's up, Ryan?
I don't
Hey,
even know
Ryan.
you that well, and even I knew that.
Well, I will tell you this.
We're an
I
open
know
book.
that people are hinting at it. House is not my number one. I will tell you that. It's my favorite.
Wait, what?
It's my favorite horror movie, but not my number one.
Dude, it's
when it
true.
comes to
My
comfort.
favorite, which we talked about, Candyman, isn't my number one.
Exactly. Because what I look for in a favorite or what I look for in comfort, two completely different things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shaim,
Hi, Shane.
love you, buddy. Thank you for stopping out.
Hi, Shai.
Gonzalo, how you doing?
Hey.
Hello. Cool name.
John's here for summer.
Hey,
Hey,
John.
John. Is that John Morgan?
Might be. Hope so.
John Morgan
Hey,
was
David.
our very first Patreon supporter, so he's like the
Oh,
Oh.
that's incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. David, nice to see you, buddy. Thank you for
Hey,
stopping out.
David.
Russell, thank you for smashing that like button. I hope everybody else does the same. It means a lot to the channel.
Yes. Hello, Russell.
Keeping my prayers strong and hopeful for Jamie. Thank you. It's not our business
Yeah.
to talk about anything personal, but just please keep her and her families in your prayers. Like I said, there are some things in this world bigger than a podcast.
Mhm.
So that's all we're going to leave it at.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Ashton?
Hey, Ashton.
My comfort horror movie is Megan, mainly because my sick girlfriend got me a Megan doll from Etsy. That's awesome.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so
I'm
cool.
so jealous. How come I can't get a
I
boyfriend
need
to get me a
Megan
Megan?
doll. I know.
And I will tell you this, and I'm not trying to pat our backs or anything, but Amy Donald, the young lady that plays Megan, is a very good friend of Ashley and mine.
Yeah.
And
And
her
our
and her mom.
girls.
yeah, my daughter texts her all the time, and they're good friends. And her mother, I'm not going to say her name out of respect for her privacy, but she's one of the sweetest, kindest ladies
She
in the
is.
world.
She's amazing.
We got to go take them out to lunch
Yeah, and then
and spend a day with them
she
when they were
bought
in the
us like
States.
all these cool little gifts from New Zealand.
Yeah, from New Zealand. She bought us a bunch of little gifts,
Yeah.
like necklaces and stuff. And
It was
they're
a
just-
great day.
yeah, they're the most wonderful people. So the fact that you put Megan on here swells my heart. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna text them tonight and let them know that you had that on there, Chris. That's truly.
Can I just say that as a dancer myself, an old broad dancer, I love that. I love that little girl so much.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
bragging about her skills. So talented. I mean, just
She
her
is.
skills. It was really smart of them to hire a young dancer who knew how to use
Yes.
her body.
Absolutely.
See, and I tried to tell people that, like the fact that it's all practical.
Mhm.
There's certain moments that are robotic, certain moments that are CGI, but
Mhm.
90% of it is Megan. It's Amy
Yeah.
herself doing that. So that to me is just incredible that she's able to do this stuff, and she still goes to cons and she
And-
does the dance.
Yeah,
and she's just.
she was. My 3-year-old was doing the dance with her. It was funny.
We were out of the restaurant and they were doing the dance together, and we were just sitting there clapping for
Mhm.
them. Like, it was an amazing experience
Yeah.
that my girls will never forget. So to you, R and Amy, like we love you guys. We can't wait to see you again, and just thank you for being the amazing people you are, because you are the type of people that makes us believe that not everyone falls victim to the childhood stereotypes of Hollywood.
Yeah.
So thank you for
For
being
sure.
the sweet, loving parents you are, and thank you, Amy, for being the amazing young lady you are. So
Mhm.
Can I contribute real quick to that?
Absolutely.
Another fantastic young lady and mom who I know and love is Amelie from Terrifier 2, and her mom.
Yes.
yes,
Top-notch people. I adore those people.
Mhm.
She was raised so well, and she is so polite and so kind, and her mom is exactly the same. And so I know where she gets it. And oh my gosh,
Yeah.
she's going to be just fine.
it's amazing when you get to meet these people and you get to get involved with their parents, because that's something Ashley and I, as parents, we feel is very important when I invite young ladies or young men onto the podcast, like to talk to their parents first and get their permission and let them know, if you want to sit in the room while we're doing this, you're more than welcome to.
Mhm.
I would never want you to feel uncomfortable. So when you get to meet people like that, whose mothers and fathers are just so
Yeah.
amazing, it makes it that much better.
Well, it's just you can observe, just watch, and you see who's doing it for the right reasons and not the right reasons.
Right.
So yeah.
First time that Amelie was at a panel, and then after the panel, I was like, where's your chaperone? Where's your mom, dad? Who's with you? Because I want to talk to them and invite her
Mhm.
on. I want to invite her on through the parent, obviously, because she's a child.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
her
her mom was the same way, because we had Amelie on when she was part of I can't remember the name of the flick. It's escaping me right now. but we had her on then, and her parents reached out to me and were like, hey, we're going to have a really cool announcement regarding her and Terrifier 2. And when that happened, we got to bring her back on and talk about Terrifier 2 and, the little pale girl. And you're right. Like, it was one of those things where it was just so amazing. So I do got to say real quick. Hi, Cecily.
Hey, Cecily.
Was it in Indianapolis? Because we were there. We probably passed each other and didn't even realize it. So that'd be cool if it was in Indy. No, Chris said I got to meet Amy and Violet at Horror Hound last month. I'll say, like, if it was in Indy, we were there.
Yeah.
What's up, Dice?
Hi, Dice.
So I did say at the top, I owe everybody an apology. And today I messed up on social media, and I prematurely posted that A24 had bought the rights to Halloween. I have since deleted the post. I have since, apologized on social media, but as somebody that is very, very anti-spreading misinformation, I felt really bad. 98% of the time, the source that I go through is 100% on with this. The Halloween rights have been sold to Miramax. I talked to Brad from Bloody Disgusting. He did confirm it for me. So I apologize for posting that, because the last thing I want to do is be a contributor to the misinformation, game.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not who we are. I don't care about being first. I care about being accurate. And today I let my judgment, lapse and get the better of me. So I've taken the video down that was talking about it. I deleted all the social media posts. I issued an apology. So again, I am going to triple check my sources before I post anything like that again, because I don't want to be, as I said, a contributor to misinformation, just so I can be the first one to do it. It's not worth it to be the first one if you're wrong. So just wanted to apologize. And now we will get into our list, the reason we're here. So,
all right.
I'll start with my honorable mentions. My honorable mentions, I have two. And again, two of my favorite movies. And these are ones that I can just throw on and have a good time with when I'm just, feeling down or whatever. And the first one is Psycho. I love this movie. And, a lot of people could play, it's black and white. Like, that's part of the magic of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many lines and dialogue that are just so comforting in the rain. It's just a movie that makes me feel
like we all go a little mad.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I just feel good watching this movie.
Because of this movie today, I was by myself and I was taking a shower, and I kept feeling like I was hearing something, and I was like, "This is." I know this is because of Psycho.
Mhm.
Like there was nobody else there, but I kept hearing something in the shower.
She almost caught me.
Yeah, it was you, wasn't it? Peeping.
There's a peeping Ken. So the other one I'm gonna say is here's a little clip from the film. Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. My favorite in that franchise, and it's one that, with the exception of the Cockroach Motel part, I find so much comfort in Lisa Wilcox, Alice, in this movie. Like, I feel Alice is such an amazing character and such a great addition. So it's just a movie that I think Alice was one of my first crushes. So like this movie, I just feel like I'm a little kid and I'm looking at, this person that was super cool to me. So that's one that I'm going to say also is super cool for me is Psycho and Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. What about you, my love?
All right. So I have Cabin in the Woods. I guess it's just because it's so like fun and you just put it on and like you don't really have to like necessarily pay attention. It's just like you can just be like mindless. It's mindless fun. It's a good time. It's self-aware. And if I'm in a bad mood, I'm gonna laugh. So this is one that is comforting to me. And then another one, and you don't even know this. This is why this one's comforting to me, and you hate this movie. But it's Trick or Treat, and it's actually because I had a really bad day one day, and it was the first time that we like popped it on. It was during the fall, and the kids were in bed, and it was just you and I, and we were watching it for the first time, and it was like kind of chilly in the house, and it was just you and I watching a movie, and everything like went away. Like it was just a good night. So it's comforting.
Damn, now you make me feel bad for hating the movie.
Yeah, it's comforting in that reason. And like, it just reminds me of Halloween, and Halloween reminds me of family. So that's why I like Trick or Treat so much.
Well, we still watch it every year, even though I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I made it so you like that movie so
You
much.
don't like any of it? There's so many
I
different
don't.
segments. Really?
I want to like it so bad, but I can't get into it. I want to.
Why?
But like I said, we watch it every year. And I don't
Why?
know what it is about it. I don't. I love anthologies.
Right.
Like, anthology horror is probably one of my favorites, but there's just something about this movie I can't get into it. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. You like Sam.
I do like Sam, and I like the idea behind the whole school bus one.
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea behind that one.
That's pretty rad.
But yeah, I can't get into it, no matter how hard I try.
Mm-hmm.
I love Sam.
So how about your honorable mention, Summer?
Oh, this is so hard. So when I was thinking about my favorite comfort movies, I really had to think hard, because I was telling you lately, over the last few years, when I want a comfort viewing, I haven't been going to movies. I've been going to shows, like my old standbys, like Becker and Diagnosis Murder, and Still Standing, stuff like that. So I haven't really done movies, so I had to go deep into my psyche and go back to what I used to love to watch when I was having a bad day, or sad, or tired, or cranky, or whatever. Okay, so my honorable mention is Nightmare on Elm Street 4, just like you.
Yes.
I had 3 Nightmare movies on my list, and that was 3, 4, and 7. And so 4 is my honorable mention. I love that movie so much. Those all 3 I kind of consider a tie for my comfort movie. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in when I want to watch it. But right now I'm going with 4 is an honorable. My other honorable is Friday the 13th, Part 8.
Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yes.
Ooh.
Very unpopular opinion. I know. It's Jason Takes a Boat. I get it. I love it. I don't know why. I love it. I think it's so much fun.
As a kid, it was one of my favorites.
I like it up until they get into Manhattan itself. I like the whole boat part, but once they get into Manhattan, it goes downhill for me.
Which, it's funny. Most people are the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the opposite. I wish it was more half and half, like more Manhattan.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm a city girl, and I love a good urban, thriller. And I also really like what the new Scream did and the tie-ins to that in the beginning, especially. Right? I was like, I see what you did there. Anyway, it's Part 8. I get a lot of hate for that decision. When I tell people I love Part 8, they give me so much shit. But bite me. I love it.
That's what makes this fun.
Yeah.
Like, if we all went the same way, there'd be no reason to do podcasts.
Exactly.
I feel like there's not a lot of places to go on a boat, so it's like you don't have a lot of places to hide.
And I
So
really
we'll
love
catch
the
up on
cast of the Part 8. I'd love the supporting cast of
Yeah.
Part 8.
Nice.
So we'll catch up on the chat real quick before we go on to our top 10. Hey, Mike, we just got done working with Mike right before we came here. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate that. And I can't wait for people to see the movie you just defended.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you, Shaim. I appreciate you guys understanding. I felt really bad about it. We know you don't spread crap on purpose. Yeah, a lot of people did get fooled by it.
There's just misinformation out there, man.
Yeah, and it sucks. Was it Jason that was peeping in on you?
It could have been.
Yes, it is, John. If all goes well, he'll be in Chicago in March.
Oh, nice.
And he loves you girls. Let us know, because we're not too far away.
Yeah.
We'd love to come out and have like a whole horror night with everybody.
That'd be
so
awesome.
we're only.
John, thank you for supporting them so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, we would love to come out and meet you guys and have just a fun time hanging out. So
I mean,
we
going
love
to be
Chicago
there definitely.
too.
So
yeah, and we love Chicago, so we will definitely be out there.
hell, dude,
So
even
we
if it's
got
not for a con,
another.
come on out. Let's hang out.
Heck
Yeah, let's do it.
Mhm.
So since we got another donation, that means we can go and get we can now afford to go and buy some shit.
Woo! We gonna get the shit now.
More ring around the rosies, huh?
Oh yeah, the do.
Sick of following his ass.
The poopy pop. We gonna get the shit.
The poopity pop, baby. Thank you for your donation, John, and thank you for your
Thanks,
support
John.
to us
Yeah.
and to the Dolls of Horror. We really appreciate it. Please continue to support them. And like I said, we all need to get together. If we have to come to Chicago for everybody to get together, we will absolutely do it.
For real.
Yeah.
See, I almost caught you, but I'm a smooth criminal.
Yeah.
Honorable mention. These aren't movies, but they're about movies. In Search of Darkness trilogy.
Okay.
That's awesome, actually. I really
love
like that.
documentaries, man. Love docs.
Yeah. Yes. Another comfort to movie to me is Stitches the Clown, because I can relate not being the cool kid in school. I was the outcast. We, as horror fans in Southeast Michigan, we get it. Promise. Come on. Two of my comfort movies were the first Saw and the original Child's Play.
Oh, yeah,
Very
dude.
nice. If you don't have any of our merch yet, very good for the Halloween season, and it helps the channel very much. So
Ooh, I
that
gotta
would be
go get
cool.
some merch. I don't have it yet. I gotta go get some.
Yeah. No pressure, no pressure. I hate being that guy that's like, hey, if you're a part of this, you need to buy our stuff. Like, we're not like that. If
No,
you
I would
can,
love
if you
to-
have
I
the
love
means,
I love to buy the stuff.
we appreciate that. Jason Takes a Boat is overhated. It's so much fun.
Thank you.
Honorable mention, Ghost Watch. Jason Takes Manhattan gets too much hate. I've got your back, Summer. We actually just did an in defense episode on that
We
with
did.
Justin from Ryan
love that
1988.
movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Honorable mention is Gremlins. The Christmas vibes in the neighborhood and the entertaining shenanigans are what I enjoyed the most when I was a kid. I still love the movie and its sequel too.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually.
Can I say, David, that the Dolls of Horror are going to be covering Gremlins this
Oh.
holiday season? They'll be the first one
Nice.
in December.
Nice. The
make-
Gremlins is one
yeah.
that we watch every Halloween
Make sure Christmas.
holiday season. Yeah.
Make sure you guys are subscribing to the podcast. Those links are in the description. That way you can check that episode out the minute it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, happy Friday the 13th. Now, we've been asked a couple different times, will you guys be doing something for the channel tomorrow for Friday the 13th? No. Our versus video on Children of the Corn 84 versus 2023 will come out as scheduled tomorrow. Tomorrow's homecoming in our town.
Hoko.
And our son plays on varsity football, as a lot of you know. So we got the big homecoming game tomorrow. We're going to be tailgating out here. So tomorrow is completely dedicated to our son. So we won't be doing any type of live or Friday the 13th thing. We'll be with everybody in spirit. But as we said at the top, family is always first. And I only get to watch my son for so many. I've only got him really in my possession for 3 more years.
Please just stop.
And then he's gone.
Yeah,
So
I
I
know.
can't take any second of that for granted.
Yeah.
You should live stream from the game, like live stream.
Oh,
the
we
game,
usually do.
like
Yeah.
the
We usually
game.
do. I'll sit there and just like go on
Yeah.
Instagram live and show. Like, we're very
yeah.
excited.
For sure, man.
This is a great documentary too. Living
I
with
love that
Chucky.
one. Mhm.
It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Gavin?
Hey, Gavin.
Oh, it's my honor, John. We love Summer to death. We're sorry Jamie can't be here,
Yeah.
but it's an honor to have Summer back.
It's our honor.
It's our honor to have her back. We would not want to be with anybody else.
Mhm.
So thank you for being here, Summer. We really appreciate
We
you.
do.
I appreciate you guys having me back. I had so much fun last time.
Yeah. So everybody tomorrow needs to watch Jason Goes to Hell.
I'd rather go to hell.
You know
if
why you
nobody's
need
seen
to watch
Living with Chucky,
Jason
yes,
Goes to
please.
Hell this month is because, this will be the 1-year anniversary that we lost Leslie Jordan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
So
also
you should
true.
watch it in his honor because he was awesome.
He was. All right, so we will actually start our top 10 now. And that's
Okay.
you
I
starting
haven't
us off,
given
my
I
love.
haven't given you my second honorable though. Oh yes, I did. Yeah, I did.
Oh!
Never mind. Never mind.
Oh.
I
Say,
did.
what a
It's Fri-
jerk.
Friday 8. Yep.
Yeah,
Nope.
Friday 8. Okay,
I
yeah, we had
forgot to cross
Nightmare
it
4
out.
and Friday 8.
Okay.
All right, cool.
All right. So my number 10 is actually Final Destination. And I know you might think, why is it comforting for someone to die on a plane crash or be behind a thing of logs or any of the scary things that they put in that movie that really, plays on your fear in real life. And I feel like it's just like things like that, like even scary movies in general, like they take me out of like the real world and the anxiety and stuff that I felt about, things that are happening in my life.
Sure.
I can watch these movies and I feel the anxiety about plane crashes or death trying to get you instead of like real life things. So, and my dad, he took me to see this in the theater and I was really obsessed with this movie as a kid. I watched it all the time. So Yeah, it's comforting
It's definitely
for me.
a movie that we've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
So,
and I was obsessed with Devon Sawa too. as a young, I wasn't even a teenager yet. I don't think when it came out.
Preteen.
Yeah.
All right. So how about you, Summer? What's your number 10?
Okay, my number 10 is going to Candyman. Original.
Okay.
That's my favorite movie ever. We talked about that, so it had to be on this list, of course. It's not something I really go to. It's not really a go-to because I like to cherish it, and I like to. I don't like to overwatch it because I don't want to get tired of it. But it's a great Chicago movie because I live here, and so before I moved here and I wanted to be here, I would watch it to like just feel Chicago vibes, you know.
Yeah.
The acting is great. Tony Todd was my first crush. Yeah, because he's hot.
Super hot.
AWT hot. He is hot.
And just that voice, his soothing voice.
And he's a nice human too.
Yes.
Come
he's
to
really
Tony.
good
Deal.
Yeah, you know what? Anytime, dude. Virginia Madsen, beautiful and amazing. The supporting cast in it is great. When we recorded our dentist episode, it was so funny because we talked about the color of the walls in the office of the dentist was that like Pepto-Bismol pink, and it was the same color that Horror was painting the walls, and so we have coined that shade of pink Homewrecker pink.
That's fantastic.
That is funny.
Homewrecker
God,
pink.
I love that. Homewrecker pink.
That Pepto-Bismol
That's one of my
pink that people were using in the 90s and 80s. Homewrecker pink.
Yeah.
Well, and now she's giving that to you guys. So now you guys can start using Homewrecker pink as well.
You're going to Home Depot. I'm looking for a
Homewrecker pink.
Homewrecker pink.
It is actually quite essential that I pick it up right now. So number 10 for me, I actually just got a t-shirt given to me of this movie.
You did.
And it is my favorite horror sequel of all time, and it is Mike Flanagan's Dr. Sleep. I just absolutely adore this movie. I love Rose the Hat. I think Rose the Hat could potentially be one of my favorite villains of all time. We actually just mentioned her on our top 10 favorite villains. She was my number 2, I believe, right behind Chucky. So like this was just like this movie took me by surprise. I went into this movie with the lowest of low expectations, being a big Shining fan. And Mike Flanagan wasn't on my radar as much back then as he is now, obviously. Everybody loves Mike, and they everybody's finally come around to how amazing of a director he is. And he didn't fail with Dr. Sleep. A younger Violet McGraw in the movie. And just the whole cast of this movie is fantastic. Seeing Henry Thomas, who's one of my top 5 favorite actors, play Jack Torrance in the bar is just such an amazing moment. And yeah, it's a movie that I'll go back to and revisit, especially the director's cut. That's almost 2.5 hours long. You just lay there and relax and just enjoy up until the baseball boy part. I can, take that part out. And this movie's nothing but a huge, huge comfort for me. So my number 10 is Dr. Sleep. Before we get to Summer's number 9, I do want to catch up on the chat real quick. Jason Goes to Hell was my first horror movie. You lucky sumbitch.
I don't know if I would call that luck.
I will never watch Jason Goes to Hell on purpose again. I love that game. See, everybody ribs me because Jason Goes to Hell is one of my favorite. It's my favorite Friday movie. I've always said it's not my favorite. It is. It's my favorite Friday movie. So everybody ribs me for it. T. Parker says The Nun overhated. I love gothic horror and it's campy. That's very true. It is a very, very good gothic horror movie. Jennifer's Body and Ginger Snaps both feel similar, which is why it's a 2-parter. That's fair.
Yeah.
Was obsessed with Sawa.
Yeah, this is true.
He is aged very well.
Yeah.
Not that I noticed.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. I wouldn't watch Jason Goes to Hell tomorrow. Even if Jigsaw put me in the reverse bear trap. I want to play a game. Just kill me.
Yeah.
Kill me.
If that's what I have to watch.
It got brought up on our last live, Living with Jigsaw, the video.
Oh,
we finally watched
gosh. It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen Living with Jigsaw, Summer?
No.
I'm going to text that to you when we're done here. It's a YouTube. No, it's like a YouTube video, and it's like a parody of
Oh, cool.
Saw, and it's
It's
so
so funny.
I love
it's
Saw.
like he lives with Billy the puppet, and like everything he does is a game. Like it's so funny. He's like, I have clogged the toilet, and underneath I have put your electronic devices. You have 2 minutes to unclog the toilet before. And he's just like, all right, Jigsaw. Like I'll text it to you after. Like I was upset with myself for not having watched it for so long.
Yeah.
It's that funny.
It was very funny.
Lover's Lane,
Hey.
1999. Very
Lover's Lane.
nice.
I was looking for that movie for years, and I finally found it on Blu-ray. It got released on Blu-ray, and I was like, "What?" So excited.
I gotta check that out. I
Anna
don't think I've ever
Faris is
seen
in
it.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Before Scary Movie. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Lover's Lane.
Mhm.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, it's really fun. And like I said, I saw it when it first came out. Never saw it again. Been looking for it for years, and finally, I found it on Blu-ray on like one of the sites, and I was like, "Oh, whoa, gotta have it."
I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
It's worth
Me
buying
too.
for sure.
Me too.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Tatum, I hope that you feel better. We love you. Thank you for stopping out. Like I said, health first.
Yeah.
This is a silly podcast episode that you can come back and rewatch tomorrow.
Mhm.
Go get some rest.
Yeah, feel better.
We'll miss
I
you,
gotta,
but your
I
health is
gotta
more important.
say that I'm a little sicky too. So like, you've heard of people being on the sauce. Well, Summer's on the syrup right now.
Pinky up. Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. Yes.
Nice.
Yes, for sure. A Flanagan Halloween series.
Heck yeah. I'll take
Look
it.
out. Yeah. The Fog. Very nice. The atmosphere and all the location visuals, along with the campfire and the ocean, adds to fun movie experience. That's a good one, actually. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Tatum, for putting up their links in the chat before you go. Feel better,
Yeah,
please.
feel better.
Saw
Appreciate you, Tatum.
Teeth. When I was 18, it was about an evil piranha. Oh, Teeth. Yeah, no thanks. The best thing about that movie is she hurts the guy that was trying to sexually assault her.
Yeah.
That made me very happy because that's disgusting. That's my trigger. You guys all know that I don't like that. Phantasm 1 and 2 are definitely comfort for me. Besides, without a beard, I look like Reggie. I know right now,
Sean.
Dice is like, yes. Dice is very happy right now.
Yes, they are.
There it is. I enjoy that whole franchise. That was one of our first In Defensive episodes with Dice Rowland talking about Phantasm 3.
Yeah.
So glad we did that episode.
I know.
It reminded me of how great that movie is. So actually, Summer, would you like to start us off with your number 9 now?
Yes. Number 9. Okay. Another very unpopular opinion. Carnival of Souls, the remake from 1999. It was a Wes Craven produced movie. It starred Shawnee Smith and Paul Johansson, who is also a hottie. My little 90210 Love and Heart was just loving it. Shawnee sings in the film.
Oh,
and anytime we can get
nice.
I don't know if you know, Shawnee has had several bands and is an amazing, amazing singer. And so I adore this woman so much ever since I was a small child. And so I got her in it. I got her singing in it. I was like, yes, please. It is honestly, I mean, it is one of my favorites. I adore this movie. So yeah, that's
Nice.
definitely what I go for. I think honestly, I put it on for comfort movie because of her singing.
Sure. And
I think
that makes
why.
sense. A lot of us get comforted by song.
Yeah. Yeah, her music
For
in this
sure.
is just it's so beautiful. Oh my god. So yeah, that is why it's all because of Shawnee.
That works out though.
Excuse me, sorry.
My number 9 is probably, looking at my list, the best love story on my list. And when you hear the title, you're gonna be like, what? For those of you that don't dissect the movie like I do, it's American Werewolf in London. To me, it's a horror movie, sure, but it's so much more. It's such a love story. It's a horror comedy. And it's one of the greatest love stories ever, and David Naughton, meeting him really made us appreciate the movie even more because he was such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And he was so like, yes, like, come over here. Come on, let's take this picture. You know, and he was just so into it. And that made my heart swell because I was so nervous meeting him. Like there's certain people that I get nervous about because not like, I know it sounds so silly because I'm a 37-year-old man.
Well, I think it's
but
like
these movies shaped my life. And it's like you were a part of me growing up.
and then you meet them and they're a total like asshole. You're like,
It sours your view of them.
It does.
Which
That's
just
only happened to me once, twice. Thank God, only twice.
Yeah.
And I wasn't surprised because I had heard rumors. So
yeah.
I was prepared.
It's really unfortunate when that happens, you know, because they're here. You know, you're famous because of your fans. Like you should be nicer.
Yep, we've only had 2 that I can think of. One female, one male. That really bummed us out a lot.
We'll have to talk later. I wonder if it's the same people. We'll have to talk
about Could be.
Yeah, we definitely will. So yeah, American Werewolf. It's just like this movie is so special to me. And I like the older I've gotten, the more I've dissected things and like how Jack is really like the deterioration of his brain, you know, because every time he sees Jack, he's deteriorated more and more and more. So it's not like he's a ghost; he's almost like a zombie.
Yeah.
But it's like deteriorating with David's mental state. And I just, oh man, there's so much to unpack in this movie. And like the porno theater scene will always make me laugh. Like I think that's just hilarious. Or when he's trying to get the balloons from the kid, I absolutely love that scene.
Yeah.
And one of the scariest scenes when the guy's in the subway. He's trying to get back, and you don't really see the wolf, and it's coming up on him. It's doing that close up on his face. And I obviously got to talk about before we get to your number 9, my love,
the transformation,
the best transformation scene ever. Jesus Christ, I'm so hot! And he's ripping his shirt off, like oh,
it looks so good.
And I love the fact that it's all in the daylight. And like it's not hidden in shadows. People argue American Werewolf or Howling. I always go American Werewolf because you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that to me is like a hamburger or a brat. It just depends on my mood most of the time. Most of the time, I'm going to go with American Werewolf. But The Howling is still a fantastic film. You're right, but you're right. American Werewolf, with the exception of the opening, you know, when Jack gets attacked in the field, with the exception of that, it's all very well lit. You know, when they're out on the moors, you know, that's the only really darkness they have in the film.
Honestly, though, even then you can still see them. We talk about this on the show all the time. It can be in the darkness outside and we can't see a damn thing. But if it's the cinematography is right, it's dark, but you can see them and what's happening.
And that's the big thing. Making sure that you're able to see these people as they're going is very important. So so my number 9, American Werewolf in London. What about you, my love?
If I can add to that really quickly, I pretty confident that I can say that would be one of Jamie's comfort movies. I'm not sure which number, probably number 1, possibly 2. But I'm 99.999% sure that's on her list. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, obviously, I have to agree.
For sure. So my number 9 is Scream. And I guess the reason is because prior to 96, Scream was like, or horror movie in general, that it wasn't really cool to like if you liked horror movies, you're kind of weird as a kid until Scream came out, and then it was popular. We've talked about this, numerous times. And like after people started watching Scream and thought horror was cool, like then I felt like I had like I got to like tell people about these horror movies that I like, and like that was comforting for me. Like, yeah, like I have something in common with these people now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, that's why Scream is comforting.
That's a very good reason, because it's so close to it definitely made us so we weren't freaks anymore.
Yeah, like you were like a psychopath or a killer or something if you liked horror movies,
right?
Before Scream came out.
All right. So before we get to my number 8, we'll catch up on the chat real quick. The Banana Splits movie is a comfort. Oh, I love the Banana Splits. That's such a great movie. Very Five Nights at Freddy's-ish, which we're both very excited about as well. But I dig the Banana Splits. I have a lot of fun with that movie.
Yeah.
We're gonna check it out. Now that I've heard about Shawnee singing, I'm in. 100% in. Hey, what's up, Quentin? Nice to see you, buddy. Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to you. I would put those on here, but both those movies make me sob uncontrollably especially Death Day to You.
Yeah.
That movie completely breaks me every time I watch it.
I didn't like part 2 at all.
See,
No.
I'm one of the, I really
It
did.
felt like a
I liked it
Disney
too.
movie.
See, I don't know. I really, really loved it.
Yeah. It was emotional for sure.
Yes.
Especially
When she gets to go and see her
being,
mom
like,
again.
the alternate universe.
Like that moment,
And she
obviously
had to,
someone
like,
that lost
choose.
their mother. That moment to me just like choked me at that
Yeah.
moment, you know. And then
Just
when she
and
finally
just the
tells
way-
her, like, I just wanted to tell you again, I can't do that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that
just the
another
way,
time.
like, her
Moving
face,
on.
like, she's such a great actress, and just
Yeah.
the way her face is, like, when she's seen her mom, like, it you could feel it.
Definitely. Halloween 2. Rewatched this yesterday during the rain. See, that's awesome. I love that, T. Parker.
Yeah,
God, I love horror, man. Like this is so amazing.
it is.
Urban Legend, great
That's a
film.
good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He is Dice. You would absolutely adore David. He is such a great guy. The Hatchet series is a favorite for me as well. Victor Crowley's the man.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned, John.
Mike, that means a lot to us, but I hope we didn't ruin
Aw.
ourselves for you. I hope that we were cool enough to be able to
Yeah.
hang out with you, man. We
I
had a
know.
blast with you. I agree. 34 viewers and 15 likes.
Heck,
I've already
It's
said that
me, isn't it? It's me.
no. And I will say Matthew Lillard is probably one of the best people we've ever met. Ever.
he was a very good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He's one that really does
he's real.
care about his fans and just is there to have a good time with, his fans and stuff. He's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes. Hey, there he is.
Hey.
What's up, Patrick?
Heck yeah.
Speaking of people, we got to get you over here, man. We got to get you over here to the States so we can just love you.
Yeah.
Oh, where's he at?
He's Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. Got
I
so
think
many
Australia.
Australian friends that love my horror.
I think he's in Australia, isn't he? Patrick, where the hell are you located? I'm pretty sure it's Australia.
It's going to be like, no, it's England, you asshole.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a douche. I'm sorry, brother. You know I love you with all my heart. The Burbs. It doesn't get concerning until you say, "Oh, I read the synopsis of a Serbian film and was like, nope, not a chance. I'm watching this movie."
No.
If anyone says a Serbian film is a comfort movie of theirs, I'd start questioning some things. I didn't even watch it.
No.
I read the synopsis and was like, this will never enter my fucking eyeballs. I'd be calling some people. Absolutely. Mosquito with Gunnar Hansen. Summer got to do that for the show one day. I'd love to talk about that with you girls.
Huh.
Mosquito.
Yeah. Sleepy Hollow, another
Okay.
fantastic film.
It's a
That's
good
a
one.
good one.
There's nothing really no. Like I was uncomfortable reading it. So
Mm-hmm.
Pet Cemetery 2. Love
like
Pet
part two a
Cemetery
lot.
2. We love that movie. We're not gonna talk about
yeah.
it, but we love Pet Cemetery 2.
Mm-hmm.
Clancy Brown's great. Yes. Agreed.
Yes,
He is. Yes.
Happy Death Days, but I like Freaky more. Love Freaky more as well. Then there, like I said, I love Freaky too. That one movie took me by
I
surprise.
really did.
I
Brisbane.
told you it was Australia. Yes, it is definitely the sexiest accent. Every time we're talking, I'm just like, oh, what were we talking about? I'm sorry, I was lost in your eyes and accent.
Patrick, I just had a couple of my dear friends come over from Melbourne for Days of the Dead Houston. They came all the way for Houston.
Oh,
and
that's
it was
awesome.
like the best ever. And they can't wait to come back next year for a con. So you got to make it happen, man. God.
You
Yeah.
do. You
that would
know
be
you
so cool.
you know you have a place to stay.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about food or drink or staying at somebody. We have you covered on all of that if you can make it over here, Patrick. I promise.
For real.
Shaun of the Dead is one of mine. What the hell is Shaun of the Dead?
Here we go.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, great.
Zombieland is another comfort horror movie. Oh, come on. That's
Yeah.
totally horror comedy.
Heck yeah.
No, thanks. I'm good. Yep. Of course it was CP. Of course it was. Yeah, I was the same way. Nope, I'm good. I read the synopsis and I got halfway through and I was like, yeah, that's a wrap. I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are up to number 8, and it is me and my wife already talked about it. One of my favorite movies to come out in the last 20 years, and that is The Cabin in the Woods.
Oh.
And Dana tells us to get this party started before every single live.
Let's
That's
get
how
this
much
party
this movie
started.
means to us. And this movie could logically explain every horror movie. You know, you choose your own way and what comes after you. And me and my son, we went to see this movie in the theater because we had heard that it had the Left 4 Dead crossover in it. So me, Ashley, and Kenny went and seen this movie in the theater. I don't know why I said me and my son. We and our son went and see this in the theater. And then you just get the one little moment of the boomer and the witch and the cubes. And I was like, that's the crossover? Like, we waited for that. But still just a great movie. Like, phenomenal acting, great twist to the end of it on why everything's happening. Another movie I went into with the lowest of low expectations because I had watched the trailer once. I had heard it was called The Cabin in the Woods, and I was like, yeah, this is just going to be a generic, shitty, Cabin in the Woods movie. But it was so smart so well done, and I still to this day absolutely love this movie. So I'm going to say my number 8 is The Cabin in the Woods. What about you, my love?
My number 8 is Krampus. I think it's the family aspect of it. You know, it's something that
I didn't even put that on here. That's a great choice.
It's something that we watch every, holiday, and it's the holiday feeling and like the warmth of being with your family, even if you're being, stuck in a snow globe for the rest of your life. Like,
there's nobody I'd rather be in a snow globe with than you.
I feel like I would smash you up against a snow
for
globe.
Sure. We wouldn't be in there long.
No, we wouldn't.
That's why I'm saying,
all right, we're using his head. We're using his head. We're cracking this glass open.
Aunt Dorothy is my spirit animal.
Yeah, she's so
amazing.
funny, and
rest in peace.
It's just a really great movie, and
her.
Literally we watch it every Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's comforting.
Definitely a tradition in the Sledge household.
Yeah.
So, how about you, Summer? What's your number 8?
Number 8, I got Phantom of the Opera with Robert Englund. I think 88 or 89.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
It's my favorite version. Second favorite is the one with Julian Sands. It was directed by Argento, but this one is my favorite. It has Joe Sholin in it, who is amazing, of course. Molly Shannon has a tiny cameo in it. I mean, it's just a great version. The music is beautiful. A score by Misha Segal, who is amazing. I bought it on CD. I don't know, 25 years ago. I saw it at a Barnes and Noble on the shelf, and I just had to buy it immediately.
Sure.
And it's so good. And we just did a movie called a brand new movie called Natty Knox, and Misha composed that as well. So when I saw that name, I said, oh, damn, at least the music's going to be good. Anyway, yeah, Phantom with Robert Englund. It's so great. The effects are great. Of course, Robert is stellar. And everything about it, a beautiful love story. I've always loved that novel. I've always loved that story. And
it's a great love story.
Yeah, and even the opera they use in it, Faust. I love that opera so much. Like, I'm not really an opera person. There's a couple I do like, and that is one of them.
I love how enamored you are with opera and dance because, like, obviously, as knowing you and becoming friends with you, I know how close that is to you.
And musicals.
So hearing Phantom on your list,
I'm a musical theater nerd, like huge. It's kind of bizarre. I am the weirdo at every con because everyone's like a metalhead, and I'm always like, anything goes. Some Cole Porter thing. Yeah. So yeah, musicals, operas, ballet, classical dance. It's all about it for me. And I love this version so much. Of all the versions they've made, and they've made a million of them.
Yeah.
This is my favorite. So
nice.
So before we get to Ashley's number 7, we will catch up on the chat. That's awesome. Glad you got to meet them. I definitely myself have to make it happen. Me working at an airport should make it much easier to leave, but leave is never granted. I'm telling you, the day it happens, brother, you fly right to Detroit. We'll take care of you. Promise.
For sure.
Number 8, Wolf.
Nice.
I love the mug in Cabin in the Woods.
Oh yeah.
Are we talking about the bong?
Bong mug, yeah.
Cop ain't gonna pull over someone holding the big bong. Marty. Oh, that's great. American Mary, Catherine Isabel owned. Yeah, that's a great movie. Very underrated.
Sausage Sisters, they're wonderful.
Yeah, they are great. They're so great. Yeah, because they directed that. They directed something else recently too, the Saska sisters. What else did they just do?
They did Rabid, a remake of Rabid.
Rabid. Okay.
Mhm.
Krampus is so unfairly bashed. I know what you did last summer. That's a good one. If it'll
Solid.
click. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Dracula is my feel-good horror movie.
Well, which one though? Are we talking the Gary?
Yeah, that's what I
Oldman
was going to ask.
Dracula?
Which Dracula is it?
Like Phantom, there's a
Um,
gazillion one versions.
Yeah.
I love the Gary
Yeah.
Oldman one myself.
Mm-hmm. Land of the Dead, underrated, but still my least favorite of those films. Martin Freeman's Cargo, beautiful, beautiful movie that is comforting but so heartbreaking at the end. Thank you,
Oh,
Sean.
nice.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
We
Thank
do.
you for being a member. And like I said, you can become a member down in the description. If you can, we appreciate it. If not, we love you just being here and watching.
Absolutely.
8 months, that's a long time to hold your breath for, but I know one guy that can hold his breath for a real long time.
Can hold my breath for a long time.
Thank you very much, man, for being a member for so long. It really means a lot. Sorry, Ken, but my number 8 is Halloween 6.
Oh.
It has the best.
Okay, guys,
How I
so
feel
I'm
when
saying,
some.
I'm saying in a bad way because he said producers cut. Producers.
Well-
we covered Halloween 6 on the show this year. It's coming out on Halloween this year for us. Halloween 6 was my very first horror movie in a theater, so it's very special to me, even though it's not a great movie. But and I saw the producers cut. It fucked it all up for me. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, the way I feel about Halloween 6 is this.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
it's not a good movie, but it's very special to me. The producers cut
No.
fucked it all up.
And T. Parker is one of the coolest people because he's just himself all the time, and
Oh yeah.
I appreciate the ribbing we can go back and forth with. What's up, Adrian?
Hey, Adrian.
Why did the Scarecrow win an award? I've heard this, but I don't know. Why did the Scarecrow win an award, Robin? Christine, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Car was built in Detroit. Hey, thank you for stopping out, Adrian. Ashley was supposed to be there, but unfortunately she got called into work. So that's why I had to pick up some of her slack and talk about her movies and what they meant to her. But thank you for coming out and thank you for supporting KB. He's amazing. I love him to death. I hate the producer's cut.
Thank you.
I agree. Halloween H2O and Halloween 3 are top tier for me. I
I
totally
love
agree with you, John.
H2O is so
No.
great.
I'll tell you in a minute. which
Hey,
one.
I hope you're having a great night too, Jeremy. Thank you for stopping out.
Yeah.
He was the best in his field. Okay, that's great. I love it. I actually love Halloween 6. I don't understand the hate. I understand it's a very mean movie. I don't know. I'm not into the whole Thorn thing. But that's a conversation for another day. I'm glad you guys like it. It's just not for me. You want to give us your number 7?
Yeah, so it is Halloween Resurrection. This movie, so it just honestly it reminds me of being a kid. Like me and my best friend, we went and seen this in the theater. This was my first Halloween movie that I seen in the theater. We were like 12 years old, and it was just a fun night, and I had so much fun with this movie, and it just takes me back to being a kid again. And I mean, like I said before, I didn't have a lot of friends that liked horror. So me and my best friend, like that's what we did on the weekends. We either rented movies or we went to the movies, and just that's why horror, another reason why horror means so much to me. So Halloween Resurrection, I can pop it in at any time. And again, it's mindless. You don't have to really think about a lot, but you're going to have some fun. And yeah, so that's comforting.
Well, and my thing is we still go and watch horror with your best friend.
Yeah, like we still do that now, and it's just, I don't know.
Right.
I love it.
Summer, do you want to give us your number 7?
Yes. Okay. My number 7 is Hatchet.
Okay.
The original, the first one. I love it so much.
Mhm.
Of course, I like the whole series, honestly. But Kane, as we refer to him on the show, Papa Kane, as
Mhm.
Victor Crowley, is amazing and is as Papa Hatchet later in the series. He's amazing. Really gets to show his acting chops, which is he's a really great actor as well, not just a stunt guy. And of course, it has my friend Patrika Darbo in it, and I adore that woman so much.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love watching her face get ripped apart. The effect is amazing. It's so beautiful.
Mhm.
I would be wearing that shirt, except it's dirty because I wear it so much. So I'm wearing my Art the Clown shirt instead.
Nice.
But I have that shirt of him ripping her face off, and
Mhm.
I love Hatchet so much. It's so much fun for me, and I'm late to the Hatchet game. It had been out for
Yeah.
maybe 10 years before I finally saw it, and I was said to myself, "Why am I sleeping on this? This is amazing."
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah. It's
I love the
crazy.
whole
There's so
series.
many horror movies out there, and it's like obviously you can't, watch all of them. And then when you finally do come around to some of them that like other people, loved, it's like, why? Why did I wait so long to watch
Yes,
this? Yeah.
Which one was it?
yes,
Watch it.
Hatchet.
Hatchet. Great
Hatchet
choice.
original, man. Yeah,
Yep.
I was saying that I just love it so much. I love the actors in it, especially my friend Patrika, and the effects were amazing. Kane's amazing. I like the whole
Yeah.
series, honestly, but part one is just amazing because of for me, it's all about Patrika and Richard Reilly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, Hatchet's one of those franchises we slept on for a little bit.
Me
Mhm.
too.
And yeah, once you finally watch it, you're like, wow, I feel like an idiot.
I
'Cause This is
know.
fantastic.
I hate it's like I waited all this time and I missed out, but
I had never heard of it, honestly. I don't know what rock I was living under. I heard
yeah.
of it when Victor Crowley happened,
Mhm.
after it
Mhm.
happened, and when it was released on that surprise screening, and I saw Felissa was in it, and I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah," and then I decided to go watch the rest of them, and I've been in love ever since. They're so great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's incredible. So my number 7, another movie that would probably be in my top 5 favorites, but as a comfort film, I still watch it because it'll make me laugh, make me chuckle, and it'll still give you a good jolt of fear every once in a while, and that is Evil Dead 2. I love this movie. I love Bruce, and in this movie, he is just a one-man wrecking ball. He's so good, and the practical effects are so great, like him with the mirror, when he's poking the mirror, his hand, and like little tiny things, like when he cuts his hand off and he puts it in the bucket and he puts the books on top of the bucket, and the top book is A Farewell to Arms. Little moments like that to me are just so genius, and it's my favorite in the franchise. This is probably my second favorite franchise. This is tied with Saw for my second favorite franchise behind Child's Play. So got to give as much love as I possibly can to Evil Dead 2. And it's, like I said, it's one of the films that really got me into horror comedies at a young age. So Evil Dead 2 is my number 7.
Nice.
We will catch up on the chat before we get to Summer's number 6. So yeah, who wants to see Mikey Myers get his niece pregnant?
Yeah.
You could have just stopped it. Who wants to see Mikey Myers? And I'd have been with you.
You know what? I will not take this Michael slander.
I want to like Resurrection, but each time I watch it, I dislike it more.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't like that one.
No. See, this is a fun movie.
Resurrection.
It is. It's so fun. I feel like you have to have fun when you watch it.
The New Blood is a comfort movie for me. I know it's not a good movie, but it was on TV the most when I was a kid. Carrie versus Jason. I love The New Blood.
It was they tried something different.
Halloween 6 theatrical cut, the only film in the series I really love and still creeps me out to this day. Sorry,
Yeah.
Thinking about Halloween. You're not too late to hatch it, Summer. I still haven't seen any. I think you might dig those, Dice. They're a little
You gotta
extreme,
watch
but
them, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're definitely good. The Halloween that almost wasn't, the night Dracula saved the world. Very nice. Never too late to get in the swamp, Summer. Yeah, they're all telling you. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. The score, Tom Atkins, the kills, the 80s vibe, the annoying but catchy Silver Shamrock commercial. Such a great film. Yeah, please, Dice. Once you check it out, please let us know. I'd love to know your opinion on it. It was Bram Stoker's, then Christopher Lee's. Okay. I watched all the Hatchet movies for the first time last year, like Kane Morris, Victor Crowley, than I do Jason. That's a
Same.
Totally agree.
Same.
I'd put The Strangers as well. Such a good movie. Brian Bertino is one of my favorite directors. Like he does so many great things.
That movie is genuinely
Sharknado.
scary.
Yeah, it is.
Just because it's so
I love
like
Sharknado.
real.
Yeah. Oh, the Monster Squad. Yes.
Nice.
Wolfman's got nards, baby. Love it. Love The Strangers too. Yeah, I think The Strangers is a very well-made movie. Brian Bertino was fantastic as the director of that film. All right, so we are up to number 6, and that'll be Summer starting us off.
6. All right. Child's Play original.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
Another good Chicago movie. Shout out Chicago. I love this movie. I love the doll. I've always loved this movie. I have always loved Catherine Hicks. This was my first exposure to her. No, second exposure. I think my first exposure might have been Tucker's Witch, a show that she did in the 80s. And I love it so much. Everything from the gritty Chicago vibe to the really cool doll. Brad is the voice of the doll. The walking and talking of the doll, the voodoo aspect of it all, even though that wasn't what Mancini wanted. I have always loved some voodoo shit. Clearly, I love Victor Crowley. So I love Child's Play Part 1. It's my favorite of the franchise. Part 2, very close second. Very, very close second. And it's, for me, Part 1. A lot of my friends don't like Part 1. They find it boring and slow, but I find it it's a little slow, but it's more of a suspense thriller vibe instead of a slasher vibe. Part 2 had more of a slasher vibe to it. So I mean, yeah, Child's Play 1, man, for everything that it is beautiful. I work just 2 blocks away from that department store that Karen Barkley worked at. It's not a department store anymore; it's a Target. But the building, the exterior is still the same, and it's still so stunning. It's a historic landmark building, so they could never get rid of it. And when I first moved here, it was abandoned, and it was all graffitied up and vandalized. It was very, very sad because Carson's had been closed for a while. And so I never got to see it in the inside in its original state as it was in the movie. But they cleaned it up and turned it into a Target. So at least it's still there.
Right. That's what I was saying. At least
I'm glad they made it a Target.
Yeah.
They hit it with the Target.
Yeah.
So my number 6 is probably the most obscure, maybe on my list. Number 6 and number 5, I guess, would be equal for obscurity. It's the made-for-TV Stephen King film, Sometimes They Come Back.
I love Sometimes They Come Back.
Yes, it's just one of those movies that I love so much.
This is one we were talking about how you don't like wait to watch things, and you showed me this movie, and I was so mad that I waited so many years to watch it.
Yeah, I was like, you have to watch this. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And it scared me as a kid so bad. I don't know. Like the Run Jimmy Run part was so terrifying to me as a kid, but now that I'm older, like it reminds me of a simpler time. So I just get the comfort in, watching that. But I adore this movie. If we're talking about movies that I would like to see remade, this would be at the top of the list. Give this a full budget, a theatrical release. Don't be tied down to the, made for TV stuff. I think we could get an amazing Sometimes They Come Back. So that's something I would love to see someday. So
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Number 6 for me, Sometimes They Come Back.
Nice.
What about you, my love?
My number 6 is Pet Sematary OG.
Yes.
Damn. That's
I know.
Comforting.
It is comforting. It was the first horror movie I ever seen as a kid. And I don't know, this movie I feel like helped mold me into who I am. Like maybe I wouldn't have even ever liked horror if I wouldn't have popped this in one afternoon when it was raining and we were in the camper with my little brother. I was 8, he was 6, and I love the way, like, the anxiety that it made me feel, and just like the Mandela effect. Like, what if I would have never seen this?
Yeah.
Maybe we wouldn't even be here
No,
today.
we might not. We definitely might not, because you would have gotten maybe you would have watched Halloween as your first horror movie and you'd have fallen asleep and hated horror, and
Oh,
we wouldn't be here
wow,
today.
you really don't like
So-
Halloween.
No, I do. I just bust her ass because it's her favorite.
Uh,
For those of you voting in the poll, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely
What's our
excited
poll?
to see. In the comments, or in the chat, I left a poll. Are you excited for the Miramax producing of Halloween? Is this something you guys are excited about? Is this something you're not excited about? And at the moment, it's 56% yes, 44% no. So wow, we're right down the middle right now. I like it.
weren't they producing it earlier in the franchise as well?
They've had a piece of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's another reason why they were able to come in at the 11th hour and steal it from A24. But they just outbid them at the very end. So it sucks, but it is what it is. I would have liked to have seen A24, not just because of what A24 could do, but
Because you
with
wanted Jason
A24
versus
having
Michael.
the Friday the
Because
13th rights.
we need that, we need that final
It's
Michael
easy.
beating Jason's
No.
ass and showing
Again,
who's superior.
Again, if Busta Rhymes can take out Michael,
He could take out
if
Jason.
Busta Rhymes
He could take
can
out Jason too.
Jason's whooping that ass. Up and
take
down
out-
Crystal Lake,
you can take
up
out-
and down
no.
Elm Street, up and down Haddonfield. He'll walk him over to Chicago and he'll whoop his ass at the Good Guy Doll Factory. He'll bring him to Detroit. He'll whoop his ass in the Barbarian basement. He's just gonna whoop his ass all over the United States. All over the United States. He'll take him on a boat. He'll go up with some snakes on a plane. He'll whoop his ass on a plane. Like he whooped that ass.
Yeah.
So before we move on, we catch up on the chat real quick. Oh man, hopefully my son's not on the couch because I'm gonna be.
You don't even get the couch.
Number 6,
You get the garage.
the innovativeness for horror comedies is like no other, and that's why I love it so much. The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah, it exists. 3PD Film says Summer. Best be watching Friday the 13th tomorrow.
We did part 5 for our episode this year, so that's coming out tomorrow too.
Underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Underrated. Love that movie. Scream 3, aka Rated R Scooby Doo. Parker Posey steals the show, and it's Nev Campbell's. I agree. I don't
love
dislike
3.
Scream 3. Yeah.
I love 3.
I knew you'd mention sometimes they come back. Dice, you know me too well. Number 6, Hocus Pocus. This movie makes me feel like a kid every time I watch it. Okay.
Yeah, that's
That would,
that's a
Robert
good
Russell
one.
could totally be the lead, and sometimes they come back.
Yeah.
Such a good time.
Mhm.
Such a good time.
I'm acquaintances with Matt Nolan, who is the character that got killed on the bicycle. He's really
Oh, that's awesome.
Great guy.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah,
He's great.
that's one of the scariest parts to me when it starts to zoom in on his face when he's laying down. When they do that cut zoom on his face,
He did did all those own stunts. He did all his own writing and everything. Being chased by
that's
a red
awesome.
car.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, is J-Dev here? Scream 2 is also the one I watched the most. I love all of them, but Scream 2 is the first one I saw in theaters. My hometown banned the first one. Oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, can't wait to see you on Saturday
Yeah.
night. We're having our Sledgehammer horror annual Halloween party. We'll be doing a fun video for it to put up on the channel. Hope you guys have fun with that.
Yeah. Did you hear my spiel about Halloween Resurrection and how we went and seen it together? And
Yes.
how we still
That's the best friend right there.
that is the best friend.
If Jason versus Michael have a movie, it would be a silent film. Yeah, just be a whole lot of Jason whooping Mikey's ass. See, I agree, John.
I'm sick of it.
I'm glad it's not A24. In my opinion,
Me
A24
too.
Halloween wouldn't work. I feel if A24 took over, we would get another Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 with White Horse metaphors. Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, or
I
we
don't
could have
like-
got
I don't
Jason
like
whooping his ass.
A24. I get so bored.
They're hit and miss to me. So I would, but again, I'm not a huge Halloween fan, so just give me something to entertain me.
They're gonna be doing, Friday the 13th, so
They're doing Crystal Lake, not Friday the 13th.
it's gonna be boring as shit.
Shut your mouth. All right, so we're up to number 5 now. And not as many people have seen this movie as I thought. And next month, November's Didn't See That Coming episode is on the autopsy of Jane Doe. Our December's episode of Didn't See That Coming is on my number 5, which is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. This movie is so damn fun. And growing up like the country bumpkins that we are, this movie just has so much comfort to it. It's just, I don't know. There's just something about this movie that is so comforting to me, and it's funny. College kids, we got your friend. It's so funny. And I just will yell that throughout the store sometimes. Like, college kids, we got your friends. And everybody in my store is like, okay, Ken, we get it. You've seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil. You know, like
That's not what they say. They're like, what are you talking about? Doing? They have no idea.
No, I love this movie, and I was so happy when Ashley was like, yeah, let's do it. Didn't see that coming on Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I was just like, you're serious? You would really write that episode? And she was like, yeah, I love that movie.
I do. So, it's fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm very excited for that. So my number 5 is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. What about you, my love?
My number 5 is actually Come Play. And I do talk about this movie a lot. And just how, you all know, we are really, autism awareness is very big in our family. And I guess this movie, it just watching, like, for example, the mom, how she just struggles to, deal with her son, and dad, he kind of like works a lot and he's the fun one, where she's like, I have to be the one that, is the, the discipliner, and so
you're the
fun one, and like she feels like she's doing everything wrong and she doesn't know how to connect with him. And I feel like that is just so real. It's such a real feeling for families that have children with autism,
especially low function,
and all they want to do is be able to like communicate. And just
when he looks her in the eyes, I cried.
And then the ending, like, that makes me tear up every single time. But just the message behind the movie itself is just so comforting for me, because
that's our home.
We have
autism is our home.
Yeah, and just knowing that there's other people out there that deal with the same thing, like, that's comforting. Like, you're not alone in this.
Well, if you follow Sledgehammer Horror on Instagram, a couple days ago we put up a thing in our story about a little boy that spoke to his mom for the first time. I think he was 10, and he's nonverbal. And his mom was like, "How are we? Good morning." And he told her good morning. Me and Ashley were watching this, and we just were crying.
Yeah,
like, it was so beautiful. We felt such relief for that mom. Like, to hear her son for the first time say good morning. It was just such a beautiful moment. And autism, like Ashley said, it's something that's so close to our hearts, to our family.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that I don't look at it as a curse or a disease. It's a gift.
Yeah.
It is truly, truly a gift. And Come Play is one of those movies that did it so well.
Yeah.
They didn't overdo it. They didn't make it over the top.
They didn't make it look like, autism is
a sickness.
Like a sickness, or I don't know. They were just very, I don't even
know. They were
tasteful. Tasteful, yes,
yeah,
for sure.
They were very, very tasteful in how they represented autism.
The young boy that played the autistic boy, nailed it. He did such a good job. And like I said, it's just so comforting knowing that this could, be your child or your nephew or, your grandchild, your daughter, and everyone, they have these issues. And if you feel like you're not alone in them, it's comforting.
And when you see people overcome obstacles, whether it's, like I said, in an Instagram reel or in a movie like this, when the mom's always complaining about how he won't look her in the eyes. When she finally gets him to look her in the eyes, she's at peace.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't want to say finally gets him, when he builds up the courage to look her in the eyes.
Yeah.
She's at peace in that moment when Oliver does that. And it's a beautiful movie. If you guys haven't seen Come Play, one of the more underrated movies in a long time.
I feel like I talk this movie up a lot, but
it's a great movie.
It really meant a lot to me.
Great.
Yeah.
One of the first, I think that's the first movie you and I did a movie review on together.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly. I think that's the first film that actually I did a full-on movie review on together as a group. So
yeah,
that's how much this movie means to us. It's great, and it hits on every level. So that's a great choice.
Thanks.
So do you want to give us your number 5, Summer?
Yes, I changed it in the course of this recording. It was, when I started, going to be Friday the 13th, Part 7.
Uh-huh.
But I changed my mind.
Okay.
It is now Halloween H2O. Thanks to
Nice.
Ken talking up Halloween so damn much. But H2O, I love it so very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
It probably is my favorite in the franchise. I think it's a beautiful movie. Um, it's well cast. It's a lot of fun. We still have our rambunctious teenagers, but then we have our adult side too, which is awesome. Um, Adam Arkin is great. Adam or Allen, which one is he? Adam, I think, right? And most importantly, uh, the portrayal of Laurie Strode and how she's dealing with her trauma, I thought was far more realistic than how they dealt with it in the new branch of movies.
Mm-hmm.
So
Carrie Tate definitely had the idea.
Carrie Tate. Of course, we got Janet Leigh in her psycho car making a cameo, which is great.
I love that.
Loved it.
Yeah, I know you guys would love that, especially. But Halloween H2O. If I was to watch one Halloween Michael Myers movie in a season, it would be H2O is the one I would put on.
Yeah, I get it.
That's my favorite in the franchise. It goes back and forth between H2O and Halloween 3. But if it's like the Myers timeline, H2O all the way. 100% H2O all the way.
It's definitely in my top 5.
Yeah.
And I really love the original. I love part 2. I love part 4 and part 5. They go together, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
But H2O, man, I also find it very inspiring. The whole Carrie Tate situation is like, I love it when she finally has to like face what she's been running from for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
H2O. Slow on the uptake over here, guys. When she finally decides that she can't keep running, she has to do this, and you see that moment in that scene, in that 10-second frame or whatever, and you knew exactly what was going through her head. And if you've been through any sort of trauma, it's just the most amazing thing to see. It's kind of like you, Ashley, and you talked about with the autism movie. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
Yeah.
And when a movie hits close to home like that, it's easier to be a comfort movie.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into our number 4, we're halfway through, guys. So I want to remind everybody, if you haven't already, please like the stream. Please subscribe to Sledgehammer Horror if this is your first time here. And make sure you're subscribing to the podcast because they are amazing. The Dolls of Horror. Follow Summer on social media. All the links are in the description. So halfway through, we wanted to say that one more time.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying not to laugh at this as I was listening. I picture a fight between Michael and Jason would be like a fight between hairless cats. No noise other than the slapping. Although Mia Goth as Mrs. Voorhees might be worth seeing. If we're going to younger, I would love that. For years I've been saying I want to see a Friday the 13th remake of the original Friday the 13th with Kathy Bates as Mrs. Voorhees. I want to see that so bad.
Yeah.
Because I think she could be the perfect Mrs. Voorhees. Just picture like Misery meets the Water Boy.
Yeah.
And that would be Kathy Bates's.
My mama said. That would be Jason.
Yeah.
That's Jason anyway.
Stop it.
It is.
The Little Vampire from 2000 makes you feel like a young kid again. I used to watch it growing up. That's a great one. The Little Vampire.
Yes, I love that movie.
I can't say, Ashley and I, another thing. We watched The Haunted Mansion. I liked it a lot.
It was good.
The newer Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, Ken
I
cried.
thought I did cry. I thought it was a great movie.
It was
really
fun.
good.
It was
His performance in that. Oh, it was
Yes.
tear-jerking. It was great.
For sure.
I grew up. I'm a Californian, so I grew up going to Disneyland at least once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Heck
The
yeah.
Haunted Mansion, of course, being a spooky girl was always my favorite ride, and I really loved that they put like the best aspects of the ride in the movie.
Yeah.
And it was just so interesting. And then if you watch any documentaries on what the ride was supposed to be, they incorporated a lot of that in the movie. So if you don't know the history, it goes right over your head. But like names and stuff, it was amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
I love when
awesome.
they do that.
Mhm.
The real fan service.
For real.
It was pretty great.
I love Bride of Chucky. That's another comfort one.
Heck yeah. Love Bride of
Can't go
Chucky.
wrong with that one too.
Guys, I'm gonna go cough some grossness.
You're good.
You're totally
Yeah.
fine. I still know what you did last summer. There's such a fun comfort whenever I watch this movie, and that's the best thing about it.
Yeah.
It can have its flaws and still be a fun movie. Little vampire knowing my heritage is Scottish. I'm like, there's vampires in Scotland.
Yeah. Could have been
Sure,
my
all this
friend.
Halloween talk's getting to me. I prefer a little break from Halloween for about 80 to 100 years. Me too. Start fresh, new company. But Jason, it's like Godzilla. I can see one of those every year.
Nah. Boring.
Oh, Teen Wolf. Nice. Halloween Kills. Michael killing people for 2 hours in his prime. Nothing much to complain about. The hot take Evil Dies Tonight chant never bothered me.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I think that got blown up more than it probably should have. But, there's a lot of that movie that I think could have been fixed. But again, we're not talking about quality of films. We're just talking about what they mean to us. Mausoleum the way it looks in the Haunted Mansion movie from 2003. Yeah, I liked it. Like I said, the newer one, I was really impressed with how much I liked it. Neurodiversity, it's a big part of our lives too. I totally understand. Evil Bong. Yes. H2O, great pick. Nothing like hearing Lori going back to the campus yelling Michael. I know it was overused. Yeah, I know it was overused, but seeing her and him in that window, what a great shot.
Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. Yes.
Usually the Halloween franchise, Halloween H2O, 4, 5, and 6. It's the Thorn trilogy. I can't get into the Thorn trilogy. Nostalgia then Dice Teen Wolf just doesn't work for me as a movie. Hey, thanks, John. We appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
John's the best.
I could see Kathy Bates as Pamela. Ironically, I tell people to picture her when I talk about my mom. That's awesome. Crystal Lake counts as on a devil. Oh, that's awesome.
That is funny.
I didn't like Haunted Mansion 2023. I much prefer Eddie Murphy's version. In my opinion, has better humor, atmosphere, and focus on practical effects, where the 2023 was too CGI heavy. I went into that one just knowing it was going to be because of what it was, but
yeah,
our kids liked it. We liked it. It was just a cute movie.
It was cute. And even the CGI, like the bad guy, like he kind of looked cool.
Jared Leto?
Yeah.
That's who it was. It was Jared Leto. That's so weird to me.
I thought it looked cool.
That's a great movie. That's a very good movie. The Faculty.
Yeah.
We love that movie.
I saw it again for the first time in a long time. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rented that
I always
movie.
forgot that Elijah Wood was in that movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he kills it in this movie. So we are up to number 4, and that will be you starting us off, Ash.
All right. So my number 4 is People Under the Stairs.
It's not number 1.
It's not. I feel like you guys know what my number 1 is, but this is it. It's my favorite horror movie. I love a movie with a message, and just like the circumstances is just terrifying. Like mommy and daddy are terrifying, and just like what they put Alice through. But in the end, they get, what they deserve. And there's a lot of good in the end. So I think that's comforting. Like I like it when the bad guy loses and the good guys win. And it's still a horror movie. It's a horror movie first, but it has a message. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun movie though. Definitely comforting when it's hard to say comforting because of the heavy topics.
It's very heavy, but at the same time,
when you've watched it so many times, it just becomes a comfort to be feeling like a little kid again.
Not just feeling like a little kid, but in the end, when everything works, it kind of works out.
Spoiler alert!
I'm sure you've all seen it, but
how much we talk about it.
Yeah,
it's 30 years old. If they haven't seen it by now, that is not your fault.
They're probably not going to. Yeah.
That's a good choice, babe.
Thanks.
I knew it was going to be on your list. I just didn't know where. And for those of you that don't know, Ashley and I never know each other's lists ever. We feel like it's a lot more fun when we don't know each other's lists. So I thought that would have been higher, but I think I know your number. I got to know your number 1. If I'm wrong, hold on, let me whisper something in your ear real quick. Okay, I know your number 1.
Maybe
that's a yes. That's a yes.
So, Summer, do you want to give us your number 4?
Yeah, my number 4, Hellraiser 3.
Ooh,
I know, right?
Wow.
Another one that gives me a lot of hate.
See, I think Hellraiser 2 is my favorite in that franchise, but Hellraiser 3 is a great film still. Like, it's still a really good movie.
I love 3. And I mean, R.I.P. Anthony Hickox. We just lost him a couple of days ago. So yeah, 3. What can I say about 3? It's the rock and roll version of Hellraiser.
Mhm.
It is the last one before Dimension fucked it all up, in my opinion.
No,
There are a couple more of the later ones that I really enjoy. Like I like the Lance Hendrickson one, and I like the one where Kirsty comes back and has Dean Winters in it. Because Dean is also a cutie. Anyway, I like those too, but 3 is my all-time favorite of the franchise. It's not the best one, but it's my favorite one. Terry Farrell, another hero of mine. I adore this woman so much. When I met her at Days of the Dead Vegas, I fangirled out just a little bit and I might have scared her. But I cried. I might have cried. I mean, she's like 6 feet tall and I'm not. So I was like this, you know? And she was just the sweetest thing in the entire world to me. And I mean, kind of honestly, like maybe like the 3rd most exciting celebrity I've ever met in my life, just for me. And anyway, part 3, it's great effects. Paula Marshall's amazing. I love our Elliot backstory. I really love that. It has amazing fashion. Fashion is a big thing on our show. Amazing fashion. We get so much Hellraiser dialogue in that. He's just chewing that scenery. Oh my god. It has amazing practical effects in it. You know, what else do I love about it? Again, it's very rock and roll. It was directed by the same guy that directed what's it called? Warlock 2, which is also a very rock and roll of the franchise. So he had that theme going on. And I just love it so much. And Joey as a final girl, she is one of my favorite final girls because in most of our movies, our final girl is kind of developed through the movie, right? They come in maybe not the strongest person and have to find that inner or outer strength to fight the monster and win or not, depending on your movie. Joey is already strong. She is already owning life. She is trying her best in a male dominated field and getting fucked over left, right, and center in her job. But she's a fighter and she's determined and she's going to win. And so in life. And so when she has to go and figure out what the fuck is going on with this box and these dreams that she's having, it's just so amazing. And that's why she's one of my favorite final girls, honestly, truly. I mean, and again, people hate on Hellraiser 3. You know what? Bite me. I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I think the first 3 are all great, honestly.
It's a
I
great
think it goes
trilogy,
downhill
in my
after
opinion.
3, but
It's a great
that's
trilogy.
neither here nor there. 2 will always be my favorite. I love that. I love part 2. My number 4 is a movie that is very, very special to me. We've only done 2 Sledgehammer watch-alongs, and this was one of them. It is Child's Play 3.
I love 3.
This is a movie. I could probably quote this movie from beginning to end. And like I feel like this has the best Chucky one-liners in the franchise. Like at the beginning when he's looking for Andy and he's on the computer, where are you, you little shit? Like I love that. This also has 2 of the most tragic.
My favorite epic line is probably like, "I thought you guys only said 3 sentences," and he's like, "I'm new and improved."
I'm new and improved. Love it. And I think this has 2 of the most heartbreaking deaths in the whole franchise, with the garbage man and with
the planted bullet.
Well, that's one of them, but I'm gonna say when
that's so. But yeah, but like that's so evil.
Yeah, I was gonna say when Whitehurst jumps on the grenade, but that's also mean though because he had a kid kill
another
Sheldon.
kid. Yeah.
So that's evil too. But there's just something about this movie that makes me feel young and okay and fun. So number 4 for me, Child's Play 3. Now, before we get to Summer's number 3, let's catch up on the chat real quick. Yes, Elijah the Twink in the faculty.
True.
Yes, totally true. Jason Lives in Bride of Chucky. Those are both very good choices both very meta.
Mm-hmm.
The Conjuring 2, it's a Christmas film, if we're being honest, by far the best in the franchise. Yes. And Patrick Wilson singing Can't Help Falling in Love with You. Yes. That
Yeah.
whole moment.
I cried.
The
when I
best part
saw
is when the
that scene.
kids start singing along and the mom like starts crying because she like for the first time in a long time feels comfort in what's happening with her kids. Like that's a beautiful, beautiful moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I agree. My favorite in the franchise, hands down. Love at First Bite.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good choice, Dice. We got to watch that with them.
We did.
4 is Casper, a fun, comforting ghost movie that my family and I enjoy. That was Ashley's first review. The first review Ashley ever did by herself was Casper.
I love Casper.
The Haunted Mansion itself and the Mausoleum from the 03 are both spooky, not scary, but spooky. The ghosts in the mansion are spooky. The zombies in the mausoleum are scary. Yes. Summer, don't tell me your number 1 is Greasy Strangler.
John knows me. Oh God.
Tomorrow, Friday the 13th. I wish we could do a marathon, but won't be able to tomorrow, unfortunately. Our spirits will be with you, though.
Yeah.
What is Josh Hartnett in the faculty then? The bear. Blade. Yeah. I can't wait for Iron Claw. I can't wait for that movie. It's a new A24 movie about professional wrestling, the Von Erichs.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for that. It's gonna be such a good movie.
Is,
what's up, Matt?
Zac Efron.
Yeah.
He is one of the wrestlers. Yeah.
I want to see it really bad. I bet you want to see it too because Zac Efron.
I mean, I don't know. All the plastic surgery, he's just not as attractive as he used to be, unfortunately.
There's a Cenobite named Hellraiser, the one of the motorbike in the ending credits of Motorhead song. Hellraiser. Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Summer's legit fighting off a cold. I was clearing my throat during our video because I took a heavy bong rip beforehand.
Dude, I've been
definitely
sick
was.
for months. I'm not kidding. It's been bad.
That sucks.
I hate that. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I watched CP3 again a while ago. I just can't get into it, and that's fine. No, you're not. I'm not going to cancel you yet, but I get it. Just followed you on Facebook and Instagram. I'm new to this channel, but you guys' videos make my day. Thank you. That means a lot, Chris. That really, thank you so much. So we are up to number 3, and that will be Summer starting us off.
All right, number 3. Where's 3? Okay. Number 3. Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Great choice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great choice.
It's probably my most favorite one in the entire franchise. I love it so much. Everyone who talks to me will tell you how much I love it. I saw this when it was brand new. I didn't see it in the theater, obviously, but I rented it as a new release. I remember calling around to every video store when it would just come out to try to find it, to put it on hold so I could go and get it. I was desperate to see this movie. I was so excited. We have Nancy back. Of course, we have Heather back. I love Heather. And a new Freddy movie. I think I was 12 when it came out. And I was just so giddy and so excited. And I finally found a video store that had it. And he let me put it on hold. And we rushed over and we got it. And I watched it right away and just devoured it. And I just love it. And let's see here. One of the reasons I love it, aside from the fact I saw it when it was new, which is a very special thing because a lot of these movies from the 80s and 70s, I saw and they had already been like out for 10 years, right?
Yeah,
sure.
Or more. And so you're like playing catch up. I saw this when it was brand new. I saw Freddy's Dead when it was brand new, right? And that might be why it's so special. And I've always loved filmmaking, like behind the scenes stuff, everything from the script writing, camera placement, how things are shot, how things are done. And I know it's fictionalized, but you get a little bit of that behind the scenes look on this, which I thought was super cool. It has some fun little cameos in it. Maybe not speaking as much, but we got some original cast members in the funeral scene. Tracy Middendorf played the babysitter, and my little 90210 Love and Heart was geeking out hardcore over that one. She played a character called Laura in 90210 who is a psycho. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're
To
fine.
cough in your ears. And I just, God, I love this movie. Part 7 is my all-time favorite. For me, parts 1, 3, and 7 is a perfect trilogy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's so hard to choose between 3 and 7 and 4, which one's my favorite. But
Mhm.
I honestly can say 7 is my favorite of the 5 franchise.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds. Now,
Shut up.
you may be saying to yourself, Ken, why is War of the Worlds on this list?
Wait, hold on. My number 3 is War of the Worlds.
Is it really?
I swear to God.
Yes. This was me. This is me and Ashley's first date.
Yeah,
the
this
first
was our
date that
first
we
date
ever went
we
on.
went on.
I was hoping you were going to forget it. I was so
But that's
hoping you were going to forget it.
I feel like you peeped at my list.
No, I swear to God, I didn't.
The fact
This
that
movie.
your number 3 is insane.
I know. That's why I was like, because
That is insane, dude.
Cover your list.
Man.
That is so funny.
Your lists are so much more prettier than mine. Mine's just all sprint to scribble.
So yeah, I just
it was our first date. Like I can remember when you asked me to go, and like we were freshly just like, were we even like actually
no, that was like our first
together
like
yet?
no, that was like our first. Well, let's look. War of the Worlds.
It had to have been 18 years ago.
Why not? I'm saying what the exact date was. When did War of the Worlds come out?
Anyways, that was. I don't think we were even dating yet, and he asked me to go, and I was super excited because it was a horror movie.
It came out June 29th, so we went on a date to see this. We became official the next month.
Yeah.
But we were not actually like official yet. We were just like still like best friends hanging out all the time. But this was the first time we actually like went and got dinner, went out on a date, like spent the day together.
Crazy lovebirds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just funny that we both had it at number 3 too. I guess I wasn't good enough to be in your top 2, but whatever. I'll take
really?
it's
really?
the same thing. But yes.
No, I don't.
This movie will always be special to me because it was you and I.
Yeah.
And it started you and I. And we wouldn't have.
Like, I feel like it was the first time that it was like just you and I. Like, it wasn't the group of friends that we hung out with. Like, it was just you and I on a date together. And I was super excited and I was nervous. And yeah.
Yeah, it was like I said, one of the best days of my life. So without that movie, you and I might not be here doing this.
Maybe
so
not.
Thank you, War of the Worlds, for doing that for us. So
that's funny.
We will go to the chat real quick before we go to number 2. For Ken to God damn it, T. Parker. That's brilliant. For Ken, I'll watch Friday the 13th Part 2 tomorrow. Once Bitten, I have not seen, with Jim Carrey from 85. Have you seen it?
I have not.
Nope. Have you seen that?
Oh, guys, yes. Once Bitten is amazing. It's a comedy. It's so fun. Megan Mullally has a tiny role in it before she was famous. She has like 2 scenes. I mean,
that's awesome.
It's good.
Huh.
It's good.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
You're going to laugh. It's great.
Yeah, I would love to see it. Ready or Not, best radio silence directed film. Samara Weaving is one of my favorite final girls. I can't argue with that. I love Ready or Not.
Mm-hmm.
Scary movie, serious horror film from 1991. Have to check that out. Oh, I love Student Bodies. Love it. Love it. We covered it with Nightmare Junkhead on their podcast. It was such a great time. Number 3, The People Under the Stairs. Fist bumps Ashley.
Heck yeah.
Day of the Dead has always been my favorite Romero. Wow, hot take, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Jeepers Creepers 01, the movie is comforting to me to the point where I both the commentary by heart and can watch the film with my eyes closed from beginning to end. I love the film.
Jeepers. I always get that song stuck in my head.
Where'd you get those peepers? Yeah. I convinced her to like me. Yeah, no list lookers.
No, this was.
It is definitely a worthy sequel.
I did not look at your list. You looked at mine.
Please smash that like button. The Woman in Black Part 1. Are you talking about the original or the remake with Daniel Radcliffe? Both are great, but I'm just curious which one you're talking about.
I never
Oh
seen
yeah,
the original.
it's good. I think you would dig it. It's really good. Yes, I love the Orson Welles broadcast of War of the Worlds. Love it. Got another one for Sleepy Hollow.
Heck yeah.
Casper Meets Wendy. No, we have not seen that.
I have. I've seen it.
Ashley has. Somebody was talking about the other day, and I thought you said you hadn't seen it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I watched that as a kid.
Yeah.
Next month's verses is on the Blob 58 versus 88. That's our November verses.
Yep.
So, hey, what's up, BC?
Hey.
How you doing? So now we are up to number 2, and that'll be me starting us off with the movie that you all thought was my number 1, House. Yes, it's my favorite horror movie. Yes, it was my first horror movie, but it's got a comfort to me like no other. Ashley and I, when we went to California and we went to the house, I genuinely cried. Like I cried standing out in front of that house. I FaceTimed my grandma and we talked about it. And this is a movie that I could literally watch any point of the day, any time of the day, and just have so much fun and feel love. And it has everything. Like it's a love story. It's a war story. It's a missing child story. It's a betrayal of friendship story. Like this movie has everything. It's a love story. It's a divorce story. And great practical effects, great monsters. I love this fucking movie so much.
Great music too.
Oh, the score is great. Harry Manfredini, Accident. Oh, he killed the score. Him and Sean Cunningham. You can feel a lot of Friday the 13th vibes throughout this movie. Shut up. You're grounded. So yeah, I love House. Favorite horror movie, but it's not my favorite comfort movie. There's one movie that gives me a little bit more comfort than House.
All right. So my number 2 is Halloween 78. I know I had 2 from the franchise, but this is comforting because this is the one that I watched most with my dad. He, as you all know, he passed away, and I've told his story a million times, but he used to dress up like Michael Myers, and he would go around town. He would just scare people, and it all in good fun. He was the guy that likes to. If you've ever seen like the reel of the guy like riding around on the bike, that's Michael Myers. Like that was my dad. Yeah. He was just a fun guy, and every time I watch this movie, it just reminds me of watching it with him. So it's comforting. It's like him sitting there with me. So
yeah.
And he just like that is 100% a Randy Westgate thing.
Yeah.
If you guys knew her dad, you hear like, oh, he walked around with Michael Myers at town and scared people. If you knew her dad, that wouldn't surprise you at all.
No,
that story would not have surprised you whatsoever.
And
he was just
he had
so
the head
funny.
Down perfectly, and
everyone in our town knew him, and the minute they saw him, they would start laughing, and he would just stand outside like the subway window, and stare in at the people. Like he was so funny. He was great. So I get why that movie is such a comfort for you. But
don't even say something.
Why are you the way that you are?
You the way you are.
Wipe my shiny metal ass.
Oh man, that's great. Summer, you want to give us your number 2?
Yes. Okay. Number 2. Popcorn.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
We just watched this for the first time not that long ago.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
This
That's
one was a surprising one
amazing.
for me. It was not on my radar when I was initially thinking about my comfort movies.
Yeah.
But I was looking at my DVD shelf, trying to think outside the box because I just had all these franchises: The Child's Play, The Friday, The Nightmare, and I'm like, God, okay, so I know I have great comfort movies that are not franchise movies. What are they? This is a big go-to for me. It is so good for me. I love the cast, all the cast. Oh my gosh. I just met Malcolm Denary for the first time at Flashback Weekend. He hates the movie. He had such a negative experience filming this movie. It was a very difficult filming conditions. But he really, really hates this movie, and he talked about it with me because, I guess he liked me, but he said he doesn't talk about this movie with anybody. He refuses. So, again, Jill Schoelen. Second time she's come up in my list. I adore this woman. And what
Nice
else?
little twist.
Yeah, Kelly Jo Minter is in it.
Mhm.
And our villain, our lead, I mean, God rest his soul. He passed, like, I think like the next year or 2 years after this from AIDS. And he was already super sick when he was filming this and totally in the closet about it, because that was the scary time when no one knew exactly what was causing all these people to die. They knew what it was, but they didn't know how you got it. And I mean, it was just the most awful thing ever. And so he was also in My Girl. You might remember him from My Girl. So he was in this. Tony Roberts is in this, playing the teacher. My Favorite Martian's in this.
Yeah.
It filmed in Jamaica in the beautiful old theater. The theater was disgusting and gross in real life, like smelled like urine, and homeless were all in it and stuff. So again, filming conditions were rough, but it looked beautiful. It was a beautiful movie. Some great music in it. Got the Saturday Night at the Movies and a reggae score as well. And good twist, as you said. I first saw this movie. It was a movie I always wanted to rent based on the video cover. It was a great cover.
Yeah.
Right? And this is back in the day when you rented movies based on the cover art on the VHS cover. So
The good old days.
Yep, the good old days.
It took a few years for me to actually rent it, because I always was renting the other things, the Nightmares and stuff like that, right? So I finally did rent it, and I mean, I think, if I recall, the first time I saw this movie, I was like sick, like a flu type sick, and maybe that's why I have such fond memories, and it makes me feel nice, because I just remember curling up in bed, feeling like crap, and enjoying this amazing movie, which I was putting off just because there was something I wanted to see more, and going, why the hell did I wait so long to see this movie? It's a movie that slept on an awful lot too. That's also why it's on my list. I just want to say it for the people out there. Haven't seen Popcorn, guys? God, check it out.
You definitely have to check that movie out. Like I said, we just watched it for the very first time. It was going to be, I was doing my first horror movie on it. And I didn't know, I had never seen it. And before I do my first horror movie, I always want to watch these movies so I kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about. So it was a really nice surprise to watch this movie. And I was just like, wow, I actually had a lot of fun with this. And the amazing thing is there's this great YouTube channel called The Dolls of Horror. And they have that movie up on their YouTube channel. So you guys can watch it. I'm putting that in the chat right now. So if you guys haven't seen Popcorn, it is in the chat, and subscribe while you're there.
You're welcome.
That's how Ash and I were able to watch it, was through the YouTube channel. So
I'm surprised YouTube hasn't pulled it. I really am. I'm surprised YouTube hasn't taken that down, but I mean, it's up there right now. So
so watch it while you can, because that's how we were able to watch it. So thank you. Yeah, so we'll catch up on the chat real quick before we get to Ashley's numero uno. Maniac with Elijah Wood is very good. Oh, Addams Family for sure. For sure. Love
another
that movie.
one we watch every spooky season.
Jeepers Creepers is the greatest tragedy of horror. Had the director not been a scumbag, the creeper would be a horror icon like Myers, Freddy, and Jason. Anytime I do a My First Horror Movie, it's the only episodes I do that I don't include clips, because I don't own the film. I want my shit to be genuine. I don't want to tell somebody, oh, well, I don't like what that director did, so I want you to pick a different movie. I want it to be real. So when someone's first horror movie was Jeepers Creepers, I would never ask them to change it, but I respectfully tell them during the episode I will be slamming the director. I will not be putting any clips of the movie on. And this is nothing against you, but it's, he was a monster, and it's something I can't willingly speak to. So thank you for bringing that up, Sean. Scream 2, I speak for J-Deb that it's the best Scream film, and my first Scream film when I was way too young. Love it. They're not House, but they're fun.
I love part 4.
Part 4 is good. The thing I don't like about part 4 is it doesn't know what it wants to do. Like some
know.
parts it feels like it's genuinely trying to be scary. Then other parts like Pizza Face, you know, like, but it's still a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
love
know.
the mucusy guy. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now.
13 Ghost remake is such a.
Oh, I love that movie.
I love
And
that
Matthew
movie.
Lillard chews the scenery
He
with
does.
moments like this.
Doing? What did I just say? Did I just say there's a petting zoo downstairs? No. There are ghosts downstairs, Arthur.
I love when he's like, I'm getting my ass out of the big glass house.
Yes, yes. House of the Dead, The Burbs. We got more Burbs. Yes, some more love for popcorn. Lord have mercy. I stepped away for a moment. Dr. Giggles is great.
Yes, Dr. Giggles.
Oh, Bubba Hotep.
Mm.
There was a damn cockroach in here, size of my hand or a peanut butter banana sandwich. Love it.
John likes Bubba Hotep a lot.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Popcorn
I
on
just
Blu-ray.
bought
That's
the
great.
popcorn on Blu-ray. I found it at a con.
I need to get it.
It was awesome.
Nice.
You know.
Love Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. Love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Hocus Pocus. Do I need to explain why? I watched this religiously as a kid.
You do not need to explain
Love Hocus
anything.
Pocus. The Witches of Eastwick. Very
Okay.
nice. Popcorn and Scream make for a good double feature. I can see that. They're both meta in their own way. I could see that. Gomez and Morticia and Addams Family Reunion. Yeah. I thought that they were fine.
I love
Oh, God.
Roxanne.
Rubber. Hey, what's up, Lil Six?
Hey.
Thanks for stopping out, man. Nice to see you here.
Waxwork.
Waxwork 1 and 2. Talk to Me. We did have a lot of fun with Talk to Me. That movie made me feel very uneasy.
Yeah.
But
that was a good movie.
yeah, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Abominable Bigfoot film. Splinter is a great one.
Mm-hmm.
The Others, very nice. That's a
Mhm.
great way to start your horror life. Jaws also scared the shit out of me, but it's still one of my. Oh yeah.
Heck
All right,
yeah.
guys. So we are up to our number 1. So I want to remind everybody in the chat, if you haven't already, please. I know I sound like a broken record, but like and subscribe. It helps the channel more than you know. Follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Our links are in the description. Please make sure you're following Summer and the Dolls of Horror. Their links are down there, as well as subscribe to the podcast. That is super important because you're supporting other horror aficionados that are doing great work. So we love the Dolls of Horror. Getting them on for my first horror movie was having Summer on was amazing. Having Summer back now is great.
Yes.
And you got
again,
Nina on too coming up too, right?
Yes. Her episode will be coming out
Producer
soon.
Nina, it has an episode coming up. You already recorded, and she had a great
She's
time
amazing.
with y'all. So I'm so
Yeah.
excited for this.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Jamie, we're sending you all our love. Family's always, we're sorry you couldn't make it out, but Summer, we're glad you're here. We appreciate you more than you know.
Heck
so
yeah.
We're up to number 1, and that'll be you starting us off, my love.
Okay, so this isn't necessarily horror. It's horror adjacent, and it's Hocus Pocus. And I have said this a million times what this movie means to me. But this reminds me of simpler times. It reminds me of being at my grandparents' house, and it just every single time I watch it, I feel this overwhelming feeling of like love and comfort. And it just, I actually, my review on Hocus Pocus comes out next
But I guess we can tell everybody
Saturday.
now.
Oh,
It's
shoot.
supposed to be a surprise. Ashley's Hocus Pocus review comes out next Saturday.
I didn't know it was supposed to be a surprise.
I do want to say, though, about the review, I genuinely laughed out loud.
You're supposed to remind me that I wasn't supposed to spill the beans.
There's a moment that because I don't ever proofread what Ashley does. I don't ever give her pointers unless she asks me for something.
Yeah.
I completely trust her work ethic. I know that she's going to put out the best product she can. So she records, she writes it, she does everything. That she comes to me like, hey, here it is. Can you edit it? And then I do the editing, and I'm editing the episode, and I'm going through, and I get to a certain moment, and I laughed out loud. When I tell you guys that I laughed out loud, I laughed so hard I brought my kids into the editing room and had my kids watch this moment, and even my kids were laughing.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. This is
Can't
one of
wait
the
to see it,
times
Ashley.
she did the editing on one part, a sound effect that happens during the part that made us laugh, and we couldn't stop laughing. Like we were laughing. I seriously had like tears coming down my cheek. I was laughing so hard. So
Yeah.
it was a fantastic moment. So I
yeah,
knew it was your number one.
It's just the comfort that I feel every time I watch it. I make my family watch it every Halloween. It's a tradition, and yeah, it means a lot to me. It's more than just a movie. It reminds me of my family.
It's grown on me as well.
Yeah.
It's a fun family film. It's good for kids. I like it.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How about you, Summer? What's your number one?
Oh, this was hard. This is really hard. But I gotta give it to Sleepaway Camp.
Nice.
Yep. I saw this movie. It was just again, a rental based on the video cover. Obsessed with the video cover. As soon as I saw it, I knew I had to see it. Picked it up right away. Watched it. I might have been, I don't know, 10 years old. It was early. I was young. And I loved it. I loved our actors, even though some of them weren't the best. I've always loved the East Coast woods. I'm from the West Coast. And so our woods were a bunch of pine needles. And I loved how the East Coast trees had leaves on them. It sounds really weird, I know, but I just thought they were so pretty. And God, I was a very unpopular child, pretty ugly, and always
Well,
picked
you've
on.
grown into yourself.
Oh,
Thank you. Yeah. And always picked on. So I really related to Angela a lot, and she's always been in that movie, specifically in that one as over the other ones. She's always been like my hero almost, not because I go and murder people that do me wrong, just because she's doing her best, know, and and I also thought that Felissa Rose was like the most beautiful girl ever back then, and I wish I could look just like her. She had that dark hair and those dark eyes, and they were so big and beautiful, and she was so pretty, and she's a stunning woman. But as a child, a 10-year-old kid watching this, I wished I could look just like her. And I felt that way about several actors. I felt that way about Joe Sholin as well, and a few others. But I love this movie. It's the movie that makes me still feel so good and so happy. And I did a sketch when I was a kid of the cover with the blade.
Oh, that's awesome! With the blade in the shoe.
And the note, the part of the note on it, the first.
Yeah.
So everything about this movie, down to the movie cover, is super special to me. It gives me all the good feels. It might be my favorite camp movie ever of all of them.
I can see
Friday,
that.
Over the Burning, and I love The Burning. I think it's my favorite camp movie. I love this movie so much, and now, way ahead of its time for the LGBT stuff. I mean, there were, gay parents closeted, and then of course, a forced transgender, which is a tragedy in itself. And I stand by the fact that Aunt Martha is our villain, not Angela,
totally.
for sure, right? But I love that movie. I love everything about this movie. I mean, it's not a perfect movie, but damn it, it's perfect for me. I adore this movie. It's a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 dolls, which is how we rate things. It's a 10, no questions.
Well, I can't tell you how many times in my life I've said "eat shit and live," Bill.
Yeah, so many quotables in that movie. Oh my gosh, can I show you? Oh, I don't have it. Where is it? So my phone case, I had it custom made. I always get an OtterBox case because I'm very clumsy. I dropped my phone 3 times on the concrete today. So I got a seller on eBay that makes custom OtterBoxes, like the real ones, not like knockoffs. This is my phone case.
That's sick.
That is awesome.
That is dope.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So every time I get a new phone, I go back to the same seller and I have them make the case. And by the way, if anyone has an iPhone 11 Plus or Max Pro, I have one of these cases for that phone, which I don't have the phone anymore. So if anyone wants that case and has a use for that case with that phone, it's an old model, let me know. I send it to you. I don't want any money for it. I'm not trying to sell it. I just want someone to appreciate it. So if you want to
Right.
just kick me like $5 shipping, it's yours. Anyone out there wants this? I don't want to throw it away. I spent a lot of money on it, and I just want someone to have it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what iPhones do we have?
We have 14s.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I got 14 now. I went from the 11 to the 14. So
Yeah.
That's
iPhone
what we just did.
11 Pro Max. That's what it'll fit. I don't want any money for this. I'm not trying to sell it. Everyone's like, you should sell it. No, I don't want to sell it. I just want someone to have it who will appreciate it. So if anyone wants a case, let me know. I'll get it over to you. Anyway,
There we
Sleepaway
go.
Camp, number 1.
Nice.
So I know that people thought that House was going to be my number 1. And if you didn't think it was going to be House, you probably knew what it was. So my number 1.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy.
Of the Dead, of course. Now, is this a perfect movie? No. But for 5 years, 6 years, I watched this movie every single night when I would go to bed. This movie would be on, the DVD player would be on repeat, and this and Hot Fuzz would just be repeated all night while I was sleeping. And I can still pick this movie up and watch it and just be so enamored with it, so in love with it. It's so fun. I love Shaun of the Dead. And I've said this before. The only thing I don't like about this movie is the title. I hate the title because when you hear Shaun of the Dead, you think it's a parody movie. You think it's like Scary or Airplane, and it's not. It is not a parody. It's a genuine, real movie with feeling and heart, and there's real scares, there's real love, there's real loss. It's everything. I love Shaun of the Dead, and I had to put it as my number 1 comfort movie because, like I said, for years until the DVD wore out, I would go to bed with this movie on every single night. To me, it was just so comforting. It would help me go to sleep. So I love this movie. I love this trilogy. I love the Coronado trilogy. I love all those movies. So I had to put that on the list. But before we go, we do want to catch up on the chat really quick. Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate that very, very much. Oh man, we always love talking horror with you too, Mike. Pan's Labyrinth, The Devil's Backbone, and Kronos. Very nice. Oh, sorry, T. Parker. I read Halloween 78 and I just started to yawn. No, I love you, buddy. Of course, it's a great comfort movie. Psycho Gorman, fun alien movie. Liked it. Number 1, Wishmaster.
Yes.
Is that Ashley reviewed? Shaim asked. No, you're fine. We love it.
Yeah.
Ashley, when we announced Ashley was doing reviews, we wanted people to tell us what movies they wanted to see her review. Shaim was one of the very first ones to pop in and say, can you please do Wishmaster? And she did it for him. And it turned out to be a very, very well done episode that I love very much. So
yeah,
I just had Rico Ross sign my Wishmaster poster.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, it's such a fun movie.
It is. The Wolfman. Even before I truly got horror started my channel, I would throw this on to watch when I was home alone. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You want to talk about it? Hocus Pocus?
So I went into the sequel knowing that it wasn't going to be the first one because I have this crazy obsession with the first one, and I knew it was never going to live up to it. I knew it wasn't. So going in with that mind frame, I watched it and I enjoyed it. It was nostalgic. There was some good singing sequences that I liked. There was a jump scare in it. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. Was it the first one? Not even close, but it was still good. It was entertaining, and that's really all that I asked for. So
I second everything she just said. That's why I told her she could go ahead and say it because I knew that I was just going to agree because we've talked about this before. But that's how we feel about the sequel. Hellboy 1 and 2 with Blade 2. That'd be a nice little triple feature right there.
Yeah.
Monster House. That's another good one.
Yeah.
Jason Lives. Love it. Second favorite in the franchise. It bounces back and forth. Jason Lives and Jason Goes to Hell. They'll bounce back
Depends
and forth
on your
for me.
mood.
Yeah.
Right?
Wishmaster. No more Wishmaster.
Love
the Monster Club. Yes. Yes. Yo, Angela, why are you so fucked up? Yes, man. You could say you murder people that do you wrong, Summer. I find it to be very effective.
I mean, you gotta.
Yeah. I was
Right
saying,
now,
Dice,
it's
they know what they're
jumping on
talking
'em
about.
all.
Oh, Jumanji definitely has horror elements. The Stampede scene scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah.
It was super
Mary
creepy.
Shelley's Frankenstein. Yeah, it was. Dead Heat is a fun action horror comedy. I guess it was a Hocus Smocus. Treat Williams and Dead Heat. Oh, The Burbs for sure on the list. Sleepaway Camp Survival Kit. That's
too.
legit.
That's awesome.
Too.
That's
It's a
legit.
great box set, right, dude? I love
Yeah.
it.
That's great. The Dead Zone. That was another
Yeah.
good one. I have an 11 Max Summer. Ooh, John.
John, I mean, I didn't know that. Pro? Because it has to be to fit the pro camera. Because the camera's. Yours, John.
I've never seen that one. Yes, it definitely hits different.
What did they say about John Ritter? I missed it.
Stay tuned.
Oh.
John Ritter horror comedy.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Team iPhone 14 Unite. We got you.
Team iPhone general. I don't care what model as long as it's an iPhone.
Yeah.
Agreed. I can't wait for the new Goosebumps. Comes out tomorrow, doesn't it?
No.
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
Our anniversary.
Yeah.
If you guys were to review Nightmare Before Christmas, I think Ashley's planning on doing that in December. It's been asked to be reviewed, and what better time than to do it in November, because her October review is Hocus Pocus, which was spoiled tonight.
I did spoil it, and I feel like a big dummy. I completely forgot about it. I forgot that you didn't put what it was on. Like, I was like, everybody already knows. Wait, no, you didn't actually say what it was.
It's fine. It's, people that are watching are the ones that deserve to know. So thank you guys for watching.
Yes.
Hello, Troy. Hopefully you watched the replay. Hopefully you have a good time if you do. The Mangler. Don't think I've seen the Mangler.
I like the Mangler.
Do not
Robert
watch
Englund
the Mangler.
I liked it though. I did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For number one, I'm going Lost Boys. Yep. Tomorrow's her birthday. Man, we love you. Happy heavenly birthday to your mother. I hope you have an amazing day honoring her memory. I get it, man. I've got a hummingbird right here for mama. You know what I mean? Like I get it. When we lose her, it's never easy, buddy. So I'll be thinking about you tomorrow. We love you. And I hope she has a great heavenly birthday tomorrow, my friend. It is tomorrow that Goosebumps comes out.
Oh, it is? I swore it was next weekend. Okay, well.
It's the Pro Max, and John will definitely use it.
All right, John, it's yours. All yours.
Yes, making things happen. All right, guys. So as always, we want to say thank you guys for coming out. And I know I said it at the beginning, I said it halfway through, and now I'm going to say it at the end. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It does help the channel more than you know. Follow us on social media so you can stay up to date on everything we have coming up. And make sure you're following the Dolls on social media. Make sure you're subscribing to their podcast. It's absolutely amazing. It was such an honor to have you on tonight. Please don't go anywhere. Summer, we have a couple more questions for you. Everybody else, until next time, thank you for joining us. We love you all so much. Keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we will see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Now we gotta wait.